We are back live here with a live storm update. We're going to be breaking down what is happening, what's been going on, how things have been progressing. We're going to look at the rest of the night. This will be a long stream. So I wanted to enjoy the snow myself as well, but I want to get a stream out there, kind of break down how things are going. I'll talk about snow maps, how things are progressing. In some areas, the warm nodes, you're definitely flirting with uncomfortability or or did not win out on the warm ups for some areas. I understand, but no, we'll get okay. That's all. So without further ado, let's get into it here. Give a second for people to filter in. Let's open up the chat here. Posts zone. That's where last map was. Zoom into this here. Right. And open up the chat here. What's the link as well? Duran, how we do? Yeah, Boston. I'm definitely a little bit. I'm talking away from it right now. We're kind of just starting here, so it will fix. Just give it a second. It will fix that. It does it in the beginning of every stream, so it will sound better in a second. Usually, you guys don't come in so fast, so. Alrighty. Okay. Did that, and now let's kind of dive into what's going on here. Like we talked about. This won't be a long stream here. This will be a quick one, so we can just go over what's going on and happening here. But I'm glad to see some of those totals already. It looks like the band was really cooking through. Tom's Bomb Channel, fantastic. Let's get the pen tool here. We can pull up radar and show you kind of what's going on. It's really, again, some people, towards the city, they're not going to get like that 6 to 8-ish, 6 to 9-ish range, it looks, in and around the city. And again, we talked about that I wasn't going to explicitly forecast that, for the city. I thought that now into these places here, you just go a little bit north and east. I thought, yeah, some of these places are better suited here versus, remember we said Long Island in a better spot versus like just west of the city and in the city. We talked about that. So that's why I said that you're a little bit safer, but you could still see just as much snow technically. But this was a higher margin for error. These places here, we talked about that. And again, like we said, in those heavier bands, you'll probably go to snow, and then when you're not, you'll probably sleet. So we talked about that, and so it's not out of the ordinary here how this has been progressing. Now, what we did expect and what's happening as well is we could see the bands that have just been cooking out here. I'm sure the snowfall totals, I'm sure there's a wide spread already, 4 to 8 plus inches. I haven't looked at totals. It's a little harder. That's one thing I did like about Twitter is it's very easy to see totals going on during storms. So if y'all fill me in with that, it'll be good there. Well, that's good. Make sure you measure your sleep because this is a snow and sleet map here. This is not just a snow map, so that's why we included um, some of these areas here. We thought maybe initially Twisted you could get a front end thump, but hey, take your sleet accumulation and you're gonna walk away with some freezing rain. Take your a tenth of an inch of sleet, whatever it is, and enjoy it. But here's why. So I up the map here in these places here, and I really think the enhancement aspect of just near the ocean, I think will help. 6.5 inches as of 8:30 p.m. in Waterbury, Connecticut. That's fantastic. So it really looks how heavy are those snowfall rates in that band? Is it about 3 inches per hour, 2 or 3 inches per hour? That's what I was guessing. Can't measure, it's iced. All right, so well you got something, but it does count for your seasonal. So just know that it's snow and sleet accumulations for people. If you want to go by the official, you don't have to. You can do however you want, but just for those that know. And again, this is the area we're watching here. And I almost felt like I could have even included this 8 to 14 plus. I could have pushed it. I thought about it. I fringed it a little bit more, but I wanted to play it safe. I didn't want to overdo myself, but it certainly looks like the way this band is going. Remember what we talked about, guys. In these scenarios, they like to go to the edge of the 700 millibar banding here. So if I switch, no, we got the right one. And you get an idea here. Play. Notice the heavy banding that we're moving through these areas here. They like to go to the north, and actually I want to go to the Albany one. It shows it a little bit better. And you can see we're just dumping across these areas right now. Easy 1 to 3 inch per hour. I don't care about these advisories. Oh, lightning. Thunder snow? Interesting. Guess we did have some thunder snow. But notice the band here. This is where the best dynamics are going to go to. So we drew it, if you were following YouTube posts here, about 3 inch per hour as of 620. That's awesome. It's not that radar fills back. It's just you continue to have this flow here. And this is where it's going to meet the best dynamics. After the initial band, guys, it's not hours and hours and hours of very heavy snow. You guys have to remember, now after the best of the band moves through, and like we said, it wasn't gonna make it all the way towards here. That's why we put a cutoff line for the best snow totals. Now, that doesn't mean you still might stack up over time here in some of these areas. Some of these areas here too, and still get some pretty good totals out of the system, because after the initial heaviest of the band comes through, and also here's to note, so 700 millibar vort weakens here, but then this will be the best way to show it. We just go to weather bell. Just to give you a general idea, we'll pull up use like a short-term name 3K or HRR. Usually HRR within a few hours. Now, it doesn't mean it'll be perfect, but look at 700 volt here, you notice. Really, the best of the 700 volt dynamics are still about to work through some of these areas. So it kind of hit a wall a little bit, the initial band there. And so it's still, I still think we should see pretty solid banding into these areas as well. Continued banding, that's just, we're going to rot out here into these areas. You'll get continuous waves of banding here. Waves of banding, that's what will be. But then you notice 850, guys. This is what I'm trying to talk about. Look at 850 as this comes through. See how as this gets closer? Just on the other side. Just on the other side of this, heavy rates. Keep an eye if you're looking at the heavy rates overnight. You'll flip back, I think, to snow potentially. I could be wrong. But some of these areas here, if you flip to sleet, it's not out of the ordinary. Just keep that in mind. But if we go back to 700, notice what happens. This is a really solid band. That's still, look at 700 millibars still put together. I think into here, I think we could be looking at 1 to 2 inch per hour rates potentially. We'll see how that verifies. And you have to remember, further to the east is our confluence and the press of cold air, and from the north and from behind. So the further east you go, the harder it is for this banding to make it there. But the location, the placement of what we've done here with this system, just the dynamics still don't lie. This doesn't lie. When you look at this, this suggests 1 to 2 inch per hour rates across all those areas right there. And then you're going to be saturated too at this point. Take a look. Well saturated. Not a concern. Not a concern at this point. We're going to be very well saturated. As soon as the best of the banding, you guys, you'll lose like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch to Virga in the beginning. That's just the reality. You'll lose a little bit to Virga, and that's just how it's going to go. The reason why the banding is extending further southeast here, it's because it's closer to the ocean, guys, and the ratios are not quite as high as they'll be inland, but they're higher ratios technically because it's snowing. Remember, we talked about it too. This area here, I told you guys, this is the subsidence area to watch with this storm. You're still going to get waves of banding that move through. Wait for the 850 millibar to get going. Wait for the 850 to get going. When this gets going in a few hours, I think we'll see some redevelopment here, and that's when these places here will be able to hit those totals and get closer. Areas that are at like 1 to 2 inches now get closer to 3 to 5 inches towards the end of the system. Right? There's a reason that I wasn't going 5 to 10, 8 to 14 in New York City. There's a reason in areas and around. Because this is where the best this is where the dynamics didn't lie. This is where the best dynamics are going to be. That's for this system. This is where it's going to be. And the best combination of staying all snow, high ratios, you got to consider all those things as a factor. But notice 700 millibars, guys, still very well put together moving through. And I'm sure, we're opening up tabs like crazy here, but I wonder what 700, about 4 inches in Coventry, Connecticut. Awesome. Let's go to upper air. There it is, right there, guys. Here's your 7, just on the other side of this right now. So right along here and just to the east, this is where your best banding is right now, and this will continue to move. This will continue to move east. And we'll see how well put together it is, but you get it to hold. I mean, look at it. It's not fading so fast. Eventually it does, yes. And then at this point, guys, this is what you do. You just rot out. Notice all of this still has to move through. So then at this point, this is the orientation. All of this still has to move through. And your 850 dynamics come in from the south here, your low-level push. You see that? Guys, you got to listen to what I'm saying. You got to listen to what I'm saying here. You got to really listen to what I'm saying. 850 millibars here in the low levels is going to come on through. And these areas here are going to get into more banding. I told you this was the subsidence area. We discussed this last night. And some of you are still like kind of confused on what I'm talking about. There's more to come through. So on the other side here, this is where your highest ratio snows are going to be. Right in here. This is your high ratio snows. And then here the bands make it, and then you get a little bit of enhancement. I'm not sure how much heavy snow in these areas here, but enough moderate snow to stack up, I think, for it to be a pretty widespread 2 to 5, 3 to 6, I think, with maybe some isolated higher totals are possible. Or maybe it could be even higher. I could be wrong. but I'm playing it conservative a little bit with some of those areas. All of this still has to move through. You have to remember with this, we discussed it clearly. This is the initial push here, and these are your heaviest rates. Already 3 inches, Kevin. That's impressive. That's already. So as this band starts moving through here, it's such a high ratio snow. You're so cold right now at the surface that's helping accumulation. Now, we're not going to see ridiculously insane ratios due to that warm nose we have, allowing a little bit of allowing those temperatures to rise a little, but that's also what's creating the lift at the same time. But right here, this is what we're talking about. 700 millibar vort just on the other side of this. And look at it. It just rots out over some of these areas here. All these 700 dynamics rot out right across here. So this is 850 stuff, guys. And there may be a little bit of a subsidence zone, but a lot of these areas have already gotten that initial band in here. This is where your 850 will turn on. If you go look at the MPing reports, you'll look at some areas down into here are snowing right now. It's because that warm nose, guys, it is very minor for some of these areas. Take a look. It's around 650 to 700 roughly. But if we go to just a 700, you'll notice, guys, we're below. We're like several degrees below at 700, almost all these areas. It's some of these areas, especially to the east here, the warm nose is very minor. It's very minor. It's probably 0 to 1 degrees, just above. So when you're not in the heavier banding, you are going to go to sleep. I can't be any clearer on this. But when you get back into banding, dynamic cooling will play your part. And that's how you make sure, you get 2 to 5, 3 to 6 inches across a lot of the metro of New York City. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll see. But that's what we talked about. We discussed it explicitly on stream last night. So I don't want to hear about bust yet until the storm is over. If you do bust, I told you, if you get less than, if you get less than a couple inches of snow, then you may bust. But I don't want to hear about it until after. I don't want to hear the B word until after. Because for the reasons we just discussed. Now, all of these areas here, right in here, all right in here. Even, yes, into New Hampshire. All these areas in here, expecting moderate snowfall bands to continue, and the ratios may be so high that your snowfall rates may be pretty impressive. How dare you, Twisted? How dare you? And so all of this has to move through while being saturated. And then look off the ocean, what happens too. A little bit of enhancement. You notice this? A little bit of pullback here. A little bit of pullback. So a little bit of extra stuff right around here is possible. And this is where you could get into the 4 to 8 totals. I just wanted to go conservative. I just didn't want to overdo it. I want 6 inches here. Is it you in Framingham, Allie? On top of the 1 to 2 I have in my yard from the other day. I'll be happy with that. I really think, guys, a lot of areas in here, I really love what I'm seeing with how good ratios are, what people are saying in the band already. A lot of these areas in here, I just think are going to do really good. A lot of these areas in here. And then I think you might get a little bit of enhancement in here as well. So really, I think all of these areas throughout here end up doing pretty well. Was I the only one calling this? Listen, guys, I'm obsessed with the end result of what's going to happen. And we talk about this all throughout. We talked about on the streams and everything. All those videos. We talk about this incessantly on what I think is going to happen at the end result. Heaviest snow since January 7th, 2022. That's awesome, Kevin. And this is what I care about most, guys. It's figuring out what's going to happen on the end result. Now let me just make sure here. This heavier snow is about to come in, and I don't want to miss it. So maybe like 15, 20 more minutes here of streaming. It's taking its time, but it's holding. It's holding together here. Let me see. Yeah, we'll get a little bit of Virga, but guys, that band's holding. Oh, what a blessing. We're going to get into it. We get some W's in the chat for my house, please. Man, we're going to get into it. And man, that band currently sitting on Rhode Island. I'm glad I kind of filled back in here. This, again, we talked about it. I said more 4 to 8-ish in here. I could have kept it. I was just skeptical along the coast, guys. I was skeptical for anybody living here. I wanted to extend the 5 to 10. I did initially, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. I just couldn't. But again, you get, if you're on the border of 3 to 6 and 5 to 10, get a general idea of about 4 to 8. So hopefully we get close to there for some of those areas. And again, it's just going to be hours. Think about, you just got to, it's a math game too. You have to remember. So let's say after the initial band comes through for a couple hours and we get 2 to 4 inches, boom, right away in some of these areas. If you're at like 2 to 3 inches in anywhere in here already, even into these places here, let's do a math game here. Let me, sorry, I had to get the chat going again. 2 inches in Nassau, awesome. Joe Weather, awesome. And then boom, there's an hour, there's a 2 hour. Don't miss this for my stream ever. Don't do that, Kevin. Or you can have me in the background if you want to, if you're that dedicated. But there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, just it's hours and hours. This thing's just gonna rot out until there's no more, until it's not saturated anymore. That's how it's gonna go. Still saturated. Still saturated. Still saturated. And that's where it starts to fade then. So literally into the morning, we're still going to be snowing here. Still going to be snowing into the morning. And the ratios are going to be very good. They're going to be very good. Because especially the accumulation at the surface, many places are going to be snowing in the teens. And despite the warm nose, you're going to have a very deep dendritic growth zone. Meaning there's a long area for the snowflake production zone to continue to improve the aggregate, and for that snowflake to continue to improve all the way down to the surface and accumulate cold. We're not coming back here. The last storm, not the last system, but the one before that, the 13th, 14th one, we came back at the surface, and that made it harder for those ratios to be solid. Not impossible, but it made it harder, and I went on a limb a little bit for some places. For other places, it was accurate. Other places, not so. Band beginning to pile back on in Westchester. We have some sick bands to start this off. Thankful up to 4.7 now. It's fantastic. Again, yeah, a lot of, you're not, if you're north of the city right now and you're in some substance and you're just not busting with this. That's reality. Could we see some surprises in Eastern Mass? Looks like the best chance we've had since 2022, to be honest. Yeah, I think this is gonna produce just fine. I would say a lot of these places, 3 to 6, 4 to 8 inches at least, and then just inland, especially where your best ratios. I think this is a lot of 5 to 10 here, guys. I think this could be a lot of 5 to 10 inch totals back into here, into these places. Then this is where I think 8 to 14 inches could happen. Maybe this extends a little bit further. This band is looking pretty promising. That's moving in. Virga will eat a little bit at it. You think the Berks are going to snow till dawn? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, your ratios will be fantastic. Look, you're just going to rot here at 700. 700 now, guys, it's pivoting. This is what it's doing. The progression is no longer for this. The progression is it's still sliding east, but it's southeast now. The progression for this is to go like this now for 700 in about an hour or two. So it'll move east and then slide out. Because you have a confluence piece. It meets the confluence, slides out, and you just rot. Now let's see. Do some of the models underestimate how strong the signature of 700 millibar is here? If they underestimate this, you just might rot and sit for hours. Listen, I could be reading this wrong partially, but you could just rot out for hours and hours of hours at moderate snowfall in these areas. And you're just consistently getting, let's say, quarter inch to 3/4 inch rates per hour. And it won't take a lot. Gonna be saturated. That's the key. 3.5 inches already. That's awesome, Kevin. Yeah, you guys only got about 5-10 minutes left of me, and then I gotta go see snow. And I'm not apologizing for it, but and we can maybe do, for anybody that's staying up tonight, we can maybe do another one. Oh, also hit the like. That helps a lot as well. Here on YouTube. So I'm pretty positive optimistic about how things are looking so far for our snow lovers. I really am. Again, New York City, do not give out yet. Okay, stay the course here in New York City. V-Plow and Top Gun rear plow are ready. Snowing like crazy in Southbridge now. Yeah, I'm going out in about a few minutes here. I'm gonna go see what's happening. We've started snowing. It's just the heaviest hasn't happened yet. 4 inches in Coventry. Started Boston gonna do well. Yes, I think so. I want 6 inches. Yeah, we talked about that. Did we miss anything? What website do you use to make your maps? I use Photoshop. Will Burks manage to get to 8 to 14? I think so. A general area, I think so. If you're at 3 inches already, yeah. Yes, I think we did see some thunder snow off Long Island, Block Island. We're seeing thunder snow with that band. Okay, so yes, New York City, Hudson Valley. I know you guys are not. But we discussed this. This was the subsidence zone, right in here, right in here, guys. This is your subsidence zone. But 850 is going to come together. 850 is coming together, and it's pushing, and it's going to rot out. And I think you're going to get some more snowfall. If I'm wrong, sue me. Please don't, actually. I don't have the money. But I think we work out well. And man, I wonder, and yeah, I'm not sure how accurate this is, but just a general idea of where the heaviest totals expected, right? Right into these areas here. And then I still think into here. I really think this could actually extend back into some of these areas. Just the ratios are going to be so fantastic. And I just think under the hood looks way better than what some of it's producing. Brady is showing like crazy in Staten Island. It's snowing like crazy in Staten Island North Shore here. Radar not showing. Well, now a lot of it is low level, like we talked about. It's going to be 850 driven, so I would use the terminal radars upcoming here. So your local, your JFK and Newark radars, I would use those. And I think you're gonna make out. I think you're still gonna make out. How much do you have, Bloody? How much do you have? This is it right here, guys. You can see it forming. This stuff right here. This will be coming. Okay. Light snow on the South Shore. The fact that you're snowing and it's light is a positive. Guys, if you're snowing right now near New York City and it's light, that means dynamic cooling not even working. That means dynamic cooling is not even the reason you're snowing. It means you're cold enough throughout the column without the need of dynamic cooling. So you just gotta stay patient with these. Stay patient, okay? 1.5. Okay, you're almost there. You get another 2 to 3 inches here, and that's it. You get there. You got all night to see how long you can get into bands. Hello, NFL fan. But I got I got a heavy band that's coming through here, so we're gonna have to call it a stream in a second here. But here we go. This is I still like this idea. I still like this idea. This could vary a little bit. Again, you see how tight the 1 to 3 to the 3 to 6 was here. It was very tight, to let you know. And then this is counting for sleep. A lot of this stuff here, or an initial burst from earlier. But I still like this general idea. Wouldn't shock me if these push further east. It really wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me. Some of those bigger totals. I said it. I said it. I wouldn't be shocked if I end up with 3 or 12. I really wouldn't. So this is a tricky forecast that with the northern edge here, trying to pinpoint so many specific mesoscale features. This is where it can be a bit tricky. So fantastic. I'm in Easton plows ready to rock. Oh yeah, Easton's gonna get some good snow here. HRR, so it's like 40. Yeah, I wouldn't get too focused on the HRR specific because it probably won't account for some, but having a 1.5 in Brooklyn, snowing light despite the fact not appearing on radar, and that's fantastic. That's exactly what you want to hear. You're not done yet. You're not done yet. You're not done snowing. Just know that. There's more to come. There's more to come in those areas. So stay tuned here. Maybe we go live again upcoming here, but for now, I gotta go enjoy the snow. So hit the like on your way out, very much appreciated. And this is just an update of how things are progressing. Peace, everybody.